Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are joining us from. Hope you are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to the Polyhedra Show, XTC, with me, Tony, and my good friend and founder of Polyhedra, TC. How you going, man?
Great. Nice to see you again in a week.
I know, man. Like I think we're just chatting. I got taken out by a serious flu. It was one of those recurring ones. It's been going around, but I'm back. I'm in good health, and it's good to see you, man, and good to talk to
Good to
you
see you again.
live again. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
hell yeah, TC. So, all right, we've got a lot going on, man. There is a lot going on. Look, so even this. Let me start with this week in AI. What I've been looking at. All these stories seem to be pointing at a world where these machines are acting faster than our financial systems can currently contain. We saw Anthropic release new work on autonomous agent behavior, warning that advanced systems will increasingly take actions without humans in the loop, unless strict control frameworks or safety nets exist. OpenAI rolled out fresh API policy updates after a series of agentic misuse incidents. One of which was about like using poetry, like structuring inputs as poetry, which was interesting. These kind of prompt injection exploits capable of extracting credentials and triggering unintended actions. And also, there's been a few reports showing that there's been a sharp uprise in automated AI-driven payment attacks as agents probe the financial edges of that humans haven't yet noticed. So, to me, man, all of these stories come together and kind of are speaking to the same thing, which is that AI is no longer just generating text. The agentic level is on the rise. It's becoming more and more immersed in our everyday lives. It's taking economic action for us. And the world really has no proper, safe, compliant, verifiable way for machines specifically and humans, but to move money. So we're back talking about Okash, our most exciting product right now. We are in testnet. We're really excited to be launching this. Obviously, we're talking verifiable computation and the emergence of what's really a new trust stack for the AI economy. So let's get into it, TC. I'm really excited about this one, man. So like I said, almost every headline's pointing to the same underlying failure here, that AI agents are taking autonomous actions. They're making decisions, pulling data, initiating tasks and whatnot. And the financial infrastructure that they interact with was essentially built for humans, right? So I know I've heard you use the phrase before, like the agent settlement crisis. And I remember being like, what do you mean by that? Like, what's the difference between that and humans? So I guess like, what is it? And like, why is it suddenly the biggest like hidden risk that people aren't thinking about?
Well, as you just said, most financial systems are built for human, and currently AI just crash into it, and it's quite different. It's a quite different identity to use the financial system, right? AI agents they don't have classical identities like we have. We, for human, have biometric identity. You can look at my face. You can
Yeah.
have my fingerprint or whatever government issued ID. But back to agents, they don't. And if you want to use an autonomous agent to act as a secretary or act as a helper for you, they can basically do anything without getting, getting sued or getting any traced.
Right.
They, for example, they can drain your money. The guy behind it, the hacker behind it, can get the benefit, and nobody can trace it. Okay, that's a key issue where basically AI don't have identity, but okay, we are trying to fix it by giving AI a key. For example, giving AI, we can distinguish different AI agents, and we can make sure that the agent operating on your bank account, on your whatever key data, is the original one you intended to use. And we keep this AI. So this is for example, if you're trying to use a AI agent named produced by OpenAI, with our technology, you can keep using it, get verified, and nobody can inject or just replace your AI. Well, yeah, I think that's a key part.
Got you. It makes sense, man. Like, like without the guardrails, essentially every agent is a potential like vector of attack, or
Yeah.
or like attack surface or attack agent, and every financial action along that chain
Uh-huh.
is vulnerable to either escalation of that problem or abuse.
Think
So
about this. Let
yeah,
me make an example. For
love it.
example, if Tony, you're my agent, I appoint you as an agent, and what happened if a hacker event is quite similar to a kidnapping event in classical life, where you just get replaced by another one, another guy, and this guy take my money and just run away. Well,
What are you gonna do?
no,
What are you gonna
nothing can
do?
do. Nothing can do if without any identity stuff. Nothing you can do. So your AI
Totally.
agent, in the worst case, your AI agent get kidnapped and get replaced by a malicious agent. Nothing you can do. Your money just lost.
Totally. It makes
Yeah.
sense, man. So when I spin up my own a likeness in an agent, I hope you do hire me as your assistant, and you're gonna save me from getting kidnapped. No, I love
Let's
it,
go.
man.
Let's
It's
go.
such a great analogy. It's such a great analogy. I really love it, man. I love your analogies because for us laymen's in the industry that aren't, as technologically, I'd say, adapt as yourself. I love it when you break these things down for me, and the audience and our community very rarely gets to see that. But I find it hilarious, man. Sorry, but like you got some great ones. And sometimes I forget them, so it's great to see them pulled out on the show live here like this. But I want to move on to my next question for you, TC. So I saw that some Stripe data showed that automated financial attacks, many driven by AI, are rising dramatically year over year. I mean, like this is just going to be exponential, in my opinion, unless there's some proper guardrails put in place. And it's not necessarily because criminals innovated; it's because agents found weak points faster than people could respond. Um, so, is this the moment that the industry must admit that AI can't operate efficiently on Web 2 financial rails?
Hmm. Well, I don't admit that. Actually, I don't think AI
Yeah.
cannot operate efficiently. I mean, it's not Web 2 or Web 3. It's actually the AI itself. It's causing this issue. I mean, blockchain is a great technology, but it has nothing to do with this kind of AI crisis. Uh, yeah, I
So
think
it's
that's
it's
my
not it,
point.
it's not the technology. It's the, I guess, the incumbent
It's it
rail
is
scheme on which they're.
AI technology issue. It's not automated for it's not well, blockchain versus classical financial issue.
Totally. Like I understand that uh
Mhm.
I understand that as a team, and our our management team obviously is working close with uh I can't drop any alpha here, but is working close with big enterprise, and which is super exciting. So I threw that question at you as a bit of a curveball, just to make the distinction that it's not a Web 2 or Web 3 issue. It's I think a lot of people want to think like, oh, we need Web 3 in order for you know verifiable transactions to work, and applications and technology like Okash. There's a distinction there to be made, that this is actually applicable across the entire stack, right? Whether like the entire financial stack.
Uh, well, let me let me tell you what Okash is adding on top of traditional finance. So it's we say it's a private transaction, but as we all know, classical financial system they are all private, right? Your bank account is not public to
Mm-hmm.
me, right? It's only public to you. It's only accessible by yourself. What's the difference? Okay, what's the difference can blockchain technology, blockchain style technology bring us? Well, we kind of okay. I would personally call it transparency. Oh well, but look, I mentioned two words, right? Privacy and transparency. They sound like they're conflicting, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
What we are trying to transparent on is a set of rules. We are trying to transparent. For example, if you want to build just a simple, very simple cash system, the set of rules you are trying to obey is quite simple. You just want to obey this one simple rule is the amount of input money is equal to the amount of output money, right? So you don't create any new money, yet you don't lose any existing money. That's quite
Mm-hmm.
simple rule, and that's I think that's the older generation of privacy transaction system in blockchain. They only obey to this rule, and they don't do anything else actually. What we are trying to do is we trying to make them to obey more customized rules. And this will this will be very beneficial to regulators because they want to prevent criminal activities on this kind of privacy
And
preserving
fraud and such.
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can
Mm-hmm.
define a set of rules, and okay,
Mm-hmm.
they can distinguish which guy is malicious or not using this set of rule. But look, so we are only transparent on the rule set, so you don't get confused by why the system decline your transaction. You should look at the set of rules. Okay, you know that you violate whatever thing. Uh, this is so this level of automated automation is quite important to both human and AI agents. Right? You, for example, if you look at classical financial credit card application. They are
Yep.
processed by human. They're not automated at all, and the rule behind it is not transparent. This is not compatible to whatever we have right now. The AI, I think the AI agent need more efficiency. Need to be automated. You don't want to get bottlenecked by human and any unclear policy.
Got you. Thanks for clarifying that, man. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because at scale as well, obviously, like a lot of agents are running on different rails and different infrastructure than traditional finance. And, I guess like the growth factor or like the total addressable market, for example, of agents is far bigger than even if everybody on Earth, the 7 billion people, 8 billion, I don't know where we're at now, but if everybody is using the same rails, which we're not actually, it's distinguished by geography, wherever wherever you're from, but agents kind of act in a way outside of that. So it's important to I think it's even more important to have these kind of rails and guidelines in for the 70 billion, for example, agents that could be spun up in the next, 3 to 5 years, or, and I'm speculating here, but, it's, there definitely needs to be rails in which, the decision making, as you've said, like for me to do a transfer to you now, TC, I'm like, hey man, I want to buy that guitar off you. In traditional finance, like there's certain levels that we have to cross, and I have to. It's checks and balances. But if I'm trying to buy at scale and using agents to do so, and I think I have some like some like automation that I can do to create some kind of leverage. You need to have a solution like this, which has been preventing enterprise to join the conversation. But dude, I love it. Thank you so much for clarifying. I really appreciate it. I do want to touch on one thing here, because I've shared this with all of my friends, everyone in the industry that I know, and everyone's super excited about it. And the very first question they ask me before they understand, like then they read the paper, they understand pretty quickly, but it's always the first question. And I just want to make this really clear to everybody that's watching. So Okash, it's not it's not a privacy coin, right? It's fundamentally something new. It's not like a old mixer, like a Tornado Cash. It's fundamentally a new paradigm. So for anybody hearing about this for the first time, maybe like in one sentence or one an explanation, you can tell us like what is Okash?
It's okay. It's quite hard to tell it in one sentence. Let me separate it.
It's a challenge.
It's a private platform for users. It's I would say it's a quite transparent platform for auditors, and it's not a platform for malicious user. Quite simple.
Got you.
For innocent users, they get privacy, and they get nothing, no roadblocks, no fraud detection stuff, no strange denials. I mean, strange means that you have no. Well, you got that point. And for auditors, what they got is it's quite easy to use, and they can define whatever rules they want. And this set of rules are public or transparent, so they basically auditors cannot say they cannot define ridiculous rules, and because it will be punished by the user.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, the mixers they erase the history, and regulators can't work with that. You know, OCash will selectively reveal the history on demand if audited, right? You know, like one thing, like, you know,
if they match
totally
the rules.
Exactly, man, exactly. Like, you know, and yeah, I think there's three things that like I'll tell my friends, which is that like mixers, they break compliance, so there's no future in them, and we've seen that roll out. Like it allows, you know, I mean, the tornado caches, etc. They break compliance. They're not going to be the future. Transparent stable coins, they break privacy, and that hasn't been such an issue in the past. But you know, everybody understands the importance of privacy and transactions. You know, like I just said with the car analogy, like maybe TC, you sell me a Tesla or something, and I'm like, oh, I don't want anybody to know how much I paid you for that. Like, I'd rather that be a private transaction, you know. But banks traditionally, like they kind of break programmability, right? They don't allow that. Now they're onboarding, but they don't. You know, traditionally they've been a roadblock to what allows us to have a system that you know, crypto was invented for in the first place, which we all love and we all respect, and you know, so OCash really is solving all three of these roadblocks at the same time, which is pretty amazing, right? I love it, man. All right, we keep digressing, so I'm going to keep moving through these questions because I have too many for you. I know we're going to be back next week, and I'm going to have more for you, TC. But okay, so
let's get to interesting points.
Yeah, let's get to it. Mentionably, I'm actually using like my internet. I'm using Starlink right now, so when I speak out Tesla, good on you, Elon. Thanks for the Starlink. So this week, OpenAI again emphasized multi-step agent execution, meaning agents can take actions involving real transactions. So giving an agent a credit card, you know, a raw USDC wallet, to me seems like irresponsible without the proper checks and balances. So could you just like, maybe let's dive into this, you know, I know you've spoken on it, but like maybe let's get clear on why autonomous agents require like private, you know, capped, verified digital cash. Because, you know, for example, I'm not giving my agent untapped access to my capital, you know, but I also want my agents to act privately because there are certain business benefits or relationships that I have that I've negotiated certain rates with my suppliers that I don't want to be made public to my, you know, my competition. So maybe we can break that down like even further.
I think, okay, one of the key is the programmability. For you can attach a set of rules to your agent, whatever, regardless they're malicious or not. Okay, you can just say, I give you this account, and the rules are you cannot use more than $100. Second rule is you cannot use more than, for example, $10 per transaction. Whatever rules you want to define, you can define on this kind of, you know, this system, and force this rule to happen reliably. So this partially solves this issue. At least you cannot lose too much stuff. Yeah.
Got you, man. I think you've explained it time and time again, but like I always just love drilling down on that fact again because like I have so many people asking me that question. I do want to know your opinion on this one, man. I know we're running out of time a little bit, and there's a few like quick fire questions that I want to get to you to clear things up as well. Again, questions I'm always getting. But there was like when I was talking about these the research that is demonstrating prompt injection attacks are capable of leaking credentials and triggering unintended agent, the OpenAI policies, guidance, response stuff. So like, I want to get down to the core of like what, like I mean, who you are and what and what you've created in a big picture kind of way, man. Like because I feel like it's still understated sometimes and people don't really understand, but like, how does verifiable computation prevent an exploited agent, say from executing financial transactions that it was never authorized to make, or maybe even in a broader sense? I just love to get your thoughts, man.
So what we are trying to produce is the identity for AI agent. Identity is the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
The real tech behind it is we will issue a commitment hash of this agent. Okay, any injection will change this hash, and there is no way to find a collision. So basically, the injection means that your identity is changed. Right, you understand that?
Got it.
There is no way to collide. So after the injection, the system will there with verifiable computation. There is no way to create another the same identity as before. Your identity is changed forever. The agent identity, and the system, the financial system or whatever backend system, they look at the proof. Okay, they will see a changed identity, then they will reject for any not trusted identity, I would say. Yeah.
Got you, man. Thank you, bro. I know we're coming up in the last couple of minutes. I did have like some quick fire questions that I wanted to hit you with, but I think we can probably save them for next week. I'd like to, again, I love to finish every conversation I ever have with you, man, because like you digest so much information. Like, okay, let's look at the next 24 months, bro. So okay, I think agents are going to act as shoppers, negotiators, financial operators, autonomous workers, all of this stuff. What primitives do they need to operate safely?
Well, what primitives? What do you mean by primitives here?
Okay, for example, cryptographic identity, intent proofs, obviously settlement rails like Okash, like what are the basics? I mean, these are the three that I can think of that that I think are unarguable, right? You've mentioned, like there needs to be identity, right? There needs to be some source of like intent, or at least like an audit trail. Private settlement rails, Okash, like that is to me going to be like the wow moment of the next like 6 months in terms of crypto. I think that people are going to once they like understand and use this at scale, that's going to be the wow moment. So I guess they're the three I can think of.
Well, we are still missing a very important point. Well, it's not related to what we're building, but I think it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
People still don't know how to use AI. Or if you look at it from another point, AI is still not intelligent enough for people to correctly use it. I would say, for example, if I'm using my agent to write code, I need to be very detailed. I need to instruct them in a very detailed way. I would not say it's autonomous agent. It's only semi-autonomous, and it's also true for personal assistants. I don't think they know I don't think they fully understand and know how to finish human task. You still need somebody in between. So either there are two solutions to it. Either the whole human society, everybody here, try to learn how to use AI, or AI just get more intelligent, and they can finally execute an end-to-end task. I think that's a very important missing point.
Yeah. Do you think that personally, I think the AI is going to become intelligent enough? TC, last question before we sign off, man, because I know you're always super busy, and we've obviously got a lot going on right now. But do you think the future is still going to be smartphones, man? Do you reckon AI is going to be? I mean, you're wearing glasses. I should be wearing glasses. I actually went and got my eyes tested the other day. I need glasses, man. I remember the last time I was hanging with you and we were like trying to read a sign, and I was like, "What is this?" But do you think it's going to be in glasses, in like a wraparound, watch, in everything? Do you think it's going to be general AI or agents that will have a different agent for my glasses as opposed to, say, my car, or will it all be connected? What's your opinion, man?
Oh, I think all will be connected.
All be connected?
Yeah.
But even more importantly, it should be verified, because if everything is connected, man, I don't want any point of failure. Like that is horrifying to me.
Yeah.
Like if everything's disconnected, which I completely agree with you. If everything was disconnected, then I wouldn't be as scared, to be honest. But everything will be connected, and we need to make sure it's verified. The transactional OCash stuff speaks for itself. It's absolutely necessary. There's no way around it. There's no incumbent that's doing anything like what you guys have created. It's absolutely genius, and it's what we need. Autonomous agents or semi-autonomous agents, as you've put, they're here and they're here to stay. They'll negotiate, they'll transact, they'll execute tasks, and one day, very soon they're going to operate at scale and speed that humans never could. So thank you, TC, for joining us again today and doing a deep dive on this, man. I have about 50 more questions that I want to ask, but we'll be back next week, and we can dive into a few more of them. Thanks for joining us, man. Have a great day out there, and I'm sure I'll chat to you in the next hour or so. But we'll be back next week.
See you.
See you guys. Thank you for joining.